for being present here and giving me your time and attention. So let's begin by understanding the 3 dimensions to becoming an international master trainer. The question that is really needed to be asked, excuse me, friends, there is a lot of background noise. So what I will do is I will mute everyone. And then if you want to be unmuted, kindly raise your hand and I will unmute you. The 3 dimensions to becoming an international master trainer. We will begin with a very, very simple question. Why become an international master trainer when there are so many other things to become? Where is the necessity to become an international master trainer? We will understand this very simple and profound question why through 3 different perspectives. The perspectives being, number 1, the historical perspective. Yes, my dear friends, there is a historical perspective to why you should become an international master trainer. The second is the earning perspective. Today, the country is going through a severe economic crisis, as is the world. Possibly, the economic crisis in India could be slightly better than many countries in the world, but still there is a crisis, and an earning perspective is necessary to understand why you should become an international master trainer. And the third thing is, as my friend Colonel Ramarao was telling me yesterday, there is a huge expanded opportunity surrounding us. How many of you are able to visualize that opportunity is the moot question. Today, we will also see the expanded opportunity and how it will help you become an international master trainer. We will begin with the historical perspective. You see here a picture. Anyone can recognize that this is a picture from Second World War. During Second World War, men from every corner of the world, from every house, came out to fight the war. The world was divided into the Allied and the Axis forces. And when the men came out to fight the war, the women had to fill up the gaps, and they proved that they could do the men's work equally, if not better. In fact, friends, whenever there has been a tectonic event on earth, it has changed the way business and society has been run. And things have never been the same again. The same thing happened during the Second World War, when the men came out for the war and the women came out to take the men's place. Since then, that bastion, which was the sole domain of men, was stormed by the women, and today they fight shoulder to shoulder as breadwinners for the family. Something very similar happened in the year 2000. The Y2K problem demanded the extensive use of software engineers. India came up trumps, leading to a tripling of US visa. Fixing the bug enabled Indian engineers to establish their credentials and catapulted them as leaders, world leaders, so much so that today companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, Adobe are all headed by Indian engineers. What more can we ask? Today, India is the uncrowned king of the software world. That brings us to the pandemic, through which we are still going. We have not yet come out of it. The World Economic Forum has observed that reskilling is a post-pandemic talent imperative. They say that over 50% of the 3 billion workforce in the world require to be skilled. And that reskilling has to be done by you and me as international master trainers. The world having gone digital is not going to look like anything that was there before. So if anyone has to earn and build his career, he will have to reskill himself, and it is up to the trainers to do that on the digital platform. This is the historical perspective. The historical perspective being, whenever there is a tectonic event, the world after that has never been the same, be it the World War, the Y2K, or the recent pandemic. That brings us to the next one, the earning perspective. When a person started his career in India, this is as per Glassdoor, the #1 domain to understand what the salaries worldwide are. They conducted a survey which has been updated on 24th of February 22, talking to 2,788 people who are trainers, and they found that the average salary in India for a beginner is 18,650 as a trainer. I'm sure you will agree that it's a very, very meager amount, and it's very difficult to run a family with that. What if the same person had begun his career as a trainer in France, Paris? His salary would have been 1,700 euros. Translated into Indian currency, it would have been 1.5 lakhs per month. And if he had started in Tokyo, it would have been still higher at 1.90 lakhs per month. And if he had started his career in London, the same trainer would have earned 2.50 lakhs per month. Because when pound is converted into rupees, this is what he would have earned. And in New York, it is the highest with 3.30 lakhs per month. Just imagine, where is 18,650 and where is 3.30 lakhs? But you have a question in your mind, I can see it. Even though I can't see you, I can see the question loud and clear in your mind. We are in India, how does it matter what a trainer would earn if he starts his career in Paris, Tokyo, London, or New York? My dear friends, have you considered the fact that London, Paris, New York, Tokyo today is just a mouse click away? You don't have to physically move to these places. From the comfort of your home, you can just click your mouse and you are in New York, or you are in Paris, you are in London, you are in Tokyo, or you could even be in Timbuktu for that matter. That is the power of the earning perspective, why you should become an international master trainer. Digitalization is giving you an opportunity to start giving your training in all these places and earn in those foreign currencies. Converted to Indian currency, you can become a millionaire in no time. Now let us look at the expanded opportunity perspective. To answer the expanded opportunity perspective, we need to ask a question: who can benefit by becoming an international master trainer? Who can benefit? The first person to benefit are the self-employed. Those who are consultants, doctors, engineers, lawyers, auditors. Before the pandemic, before the accelerated progress of digitalization because of the pandemic, these self-employed people were bound by the limitations of the geography. A person practicing in Jaipur or Hyderabad or Bangalore was forced to conduct his practice, give his services to the people only in the catchment area of that geographical area, but no more. He can reach out to any part of the world. The second are the teachers and the trainers. Teaching and training was predominantly explicit in nature. And it was again bound within a classroom, but no more. On the online platform with your training and teaching, through implicit teaching techniques, you can reach any part of the world and create a transformation. And finally, the most benefited today are those who have been neglected all along, the experienced and the knowledgeable elders. And how, we will see in greater detail. Let's start by seeing how the expanded opportunity is affecting the self-employed. As per IFRI, the view from Japan and Europe is that you can go global. The self-employed can today go global. You need not restrict yourself to your local market. The online platform is available. And to succeed on this online platform and build a successful career, all that you need to do is understand cognitive science. Because on the online platform, the cognitive science is your route to understanding people, understanding your customer. Having understood them, you move on to implicit influencing techniques. When you learn implicit influencing techniques and apply them to your training and teaching, you are able to change people's behaviors and opinions. You can change people's behaviors and opinions in a jiffy. And when you add to that presentation mastery, which is so very essential for the online platform, you will be able to grab their attention, keeping them engaged throughout the training, and effectively deliver messages and teachings. And all these things you can do from the comfort of your home. You don't need to move out. Basking in the affection of your family members, playing with your children and grandchildren at your convenience, spending 2 to 3 hours a day, maintaining a work-life balance, you can earn like you have never done before. And what is the Vision 2025 for teachers and trainers? A recent article says by 2025, the online learning market will be 325 billion from where it is today. That is 114 billion. Imagine. That's a huge amount. From 2020 to 2025, this market will increase by 2,000%, 200%, not 1 or 2. And what they say is that 90% of the countries have adopted digital online learning, and 60% of the pre-primary schools have done the same. Pre-primary schools have already done the same. Even pre-primary schools have gone online. In other words, what they are saying is very soon this scene of an offline class, a teacher conducting a course or a trainer conducting a session is going to be relegated to the museums, and this is what the new class is going to look like. It is in this context that teachers and trainers have to reskill themselves and become experts in cognitive science and implicit influencing if they have to continue to be relevant and take themselves to a much higher height. That brings us to the retired elders. A recent survey has shown that 77% of Indians don't save for retirement, and most depend upon their children for support. What do we mean when we say they don't save for retirement? Are we, by any chance, suggesting that they are not intelligent enough to, think of their retired life? No, it's not so. We are in no way telling that. What we are telling is that throughout their life, they have converted their blood into sweat, trying to run the family, give their family a comfortable life, bring up the children, educate the children, get the children married off and settle down. All during this period, they have been gathering knowledge and experience. Exactly. When they are adequately knowledgeable and experienced, what happens? The company or the government, wherever they are working, they tell them, you have now aged, go home and retire yourself. My dear friends, it has been seen that people don't retire because they have aged. They age because they have retired. Retired people, unfortunately, today have only one way of spending time, morning walk to morning walk. You can see here in this park, all the retired people talking to each other. They were waiting since yesterday morning walk to discuss so many things. And today they have come here, they will talk, and then they will go back home and then wait for the next day's morning walk. Is it necessary that they should spend their life like this? In Forbes magazine recently, there was an article which said, if I could change my career at 60, so can you. The author says it was a daily effort to maintain a sense of dignity amid the rejection. He was feeling rejected when he was retired and sent home. This searing experience, however, led to one great thing. It inspired me to become a career coach. Call it whatever you want, career coach or international master trainer, so that others could benefit from what I learned the hard way. That means those 30-odd years, 35-odd years of experience which we had, he used it to come and share it with everyone. And in the process, he changed his life, much like me. Like me, my dear friends, you too could become an international master trainer and in the process, earn tons and tons of money. I mean it. I earn much more than what I did in my entire professional career. And you will keep yourself busy. You need not wait for the morning walk every day. You can simply keep yourself busy and earn tons, and at the same time, earn the admiration, accolades, and respect of people around you. You have got so much of knowledge. Do you remember those days when the youngsters used to look up to you? Those days can come back again. And above all the knowledge that you have got need not go to waste. Just because you have retired and you have sat down at home, it can come in handy again. That is the expanded perspective. The why you should become an international master trainer. Historically, whenever there has been a tectonic change, business and society has changed. As after the Second World War, as after the Y2K, as after the pandemic. The earning has skyrocketed today. You are not bound by earning only in rupee. You can earn in foreign currency. Converted to Indian rupee, it can mean a huge thing for you. And above all, digitalization is allowing you today to cross boundaries, crash borders, and start earning. That brings us to what exactly is this thing called an international master trainer? What do we mean when we say an international master trainer? The international master trainer has got three roles. He's a trainer. In other words, he trains a fairly large group of people, imparting knowledge and skill to them as a group. You know, adults learn best when they learn as a group. When you are training them on the online platform, you can train lots of people, 20, 25, 30 people together, and impart your skill and knowledge to them. And an international master trainer is a coach. From these, there might be some people who feel they require special attention and support to build their skill base for a much more higher opportunity. There, you could possibly give them one-on-one coaching. Sachin Tendulkar, the world's best cricketer, had Acharyaker sir as his coach. And he continued with him. In fact, Sachin Tendulkar is known to have said that one of the key trump cards he had up his sleeve, which took him to international supremacy, was Acharyaker sir. And the third is consulting. An international master trainer is also a consultant to various domains, industries, and corporates, where he helps them plan the roadmap. For all these three, as an international master trainer, he has to define who he is going to train, coach, or provide the consultation for. And for what purpose is he going to do it? What is going to be the objective to be achieved? In what context it is going to be provided? The setting and the context is very important because everything in life is contextual. What is the intent? What is the intention? And finally, what are the skills that he is going to impart? All these things will have to be defined by the international master trainer before he can go out and claim his rightful place in the industry. So, who is going to help you become an international master trainer? And since I have assumed the mantle of your trainer, it would only be appropriate for you to ask whether I'm qualified to do so. Let me see why I think I'm qualified to do so. My name is Arun Subramanian. I got 45 years of corporate experience. Of this, 34 years have been in senior management and 26 years as CEO in various national and multinational companies. That means 45 years of change and turbulence in the corporate world I have successfully handled and reached here. On the way, I have spent 30 years of offline and online training. I've given offline and online training to business leaders, industry leaders, corporate honchos, have overall trained over 7,000 professionals from all industries because I specialize in corporate strategy. I have trained over 7,000 professionals from all industry, and over 5,000 people have benefited from my programs on cognitive science and implicit learning. I was first introduced to cognitive science in the year 1978 when I came across an article by Professor Daniel Kahneman, who got the Nobel Prize for Behavioral Economics in 2002. Since then, I've been hooked to it. I'm a very ardent student, and I take great pride in sharing my knowledge with all those people who are interested in it. Believe me, friends, people have benefited enormously by understanding cognitive science and implicit learning. And my Diplome de Master Trainer batch 1 is complete, and 48 people have already graduated out of it and become international master trainers. And they are well on their way to proving their supremacy in the world market. So, are you ready for this journey? Are you ready for the global journey? If so, how do you undertake it? A very good question, isn't it? India is an agrarian economy. And I'm sure you all would very easily understand International Master Trainer if explained the agrarian way. Farming has got 3 dimensions, as has International Master Trainer. What are the 3 dimensions of farming, and what has it got to do with International Master Trainer? The first dimension is the farmer plows the field, as you saw just now. That is preparing the field. He prepares the field, he plows it. Then he sows the seed. Once he has sown the seed, the elements take over. Wind, water, air, earth. They take over and they give him a beautiful crop, which he harvests and makes money. These are the 3 dimensions of farming. Preparing the field by plowing it, sowing the seeds, allowing the elements to work on it, harvesting the crop, and making money. In the same way, an international master trainer starts by identifying his niche. What is his niche? Then he creates a digital program of his niche. You create a digital program of that which is your niche. And then you market and monetize it. These are the 3 things. So easily said, isn't it? Huh? But is it really that easy? Let's see. Let us first understand niche. How do you understand your niche? I'm going to give you, understanding your niche is over 9 hours program in Diplome de Master Trainer. But here, in about 15-20 minutes, I'm going to give you a bird's eye overview of what niche is, because niche is the most abused word in the English language. And how will you understand niche? Niche comes from the French verb nicher, meaning to make a nest. Niche comes from the French verb nicher, means to make a nest. And this word nicher has come from the Latin nidus, which is a nest. So your niche is where you are most comfortable. It is the element in which you are. The term niche was coined by the naturalist Roswell Hill Johnson, but it was first used by Joseph Grinnell in a research program in 1917. He used it to highlight a particular role of an individual species or organism within its community and its environment. He used it to explain an individual species or organism within its community and environment, including its position on the food cycle and its behavior. That means a niche is what you are. Each of one of us has a niche. We may not be aware of it. Niche is not something which you are not. So we will move on to the next step of understanding a niche. Let this be the foundation step. As civilization progressed, living space became bigger and more complex and more beautiful. Beauty and convenience came together to create a beautiful living experience. What do you see here? You see here a kitchen where a portion of the wall has been carved out. This carved out space is called a niche. In architecture, this carved out space is called a niche. And what is kept there? This is normally right above the cooking table platform. You can see all the things which are required there, the masalas, the glasses, the toaster, the mixies, the grinders, or those pans which are required. All these are kept in this place for easy access. Then we come to the washroom. In the washroom, right next to the shower, there is a portion of the wall which has been carved out. This is also called a niche. And what is kept there? The soap, the shampoos, the smelling salt, the candles. Here we have the bedroom. Right above the bed, there is a portion which has been carved out. This is a niche for the bedroom. And what is kept there? The books, the music, and other things which will help you fall to sleep. And finally, you have the drawing room, where again, the wall has been carved and the lighting has been set. And a beautiful decorative piece has been kept to enhance the ambience of the room. Three things we have seen. The nest, where the organism is most comfortable, which is the correct place that it should be. It defines its position in the food cycle. It defines its role in the community and what the purpose is. Here we see a portion of the wall which is carved, which is called a niche. The position, that area of the broader market which is going to be addressed is what this area represents. And the materials which are kept are the services which you are going to provide. Three things: what you are totally comfortable with, the area of the broader market that you're going to address, and what you're going to address that area of the broader market with is what your niche. Now, the niche funnel has become very clear. Number one, the first question: what is it that you love to do? What is it you're most comfortable doing? What is your real interest area? What did you always want to do? What do you identify yourself with? That is the beginning of defining your niche. Then you move on to the next one. What segment of the broader market are you going to focus on? There is that portion where the carving has taken place in the kitchen being the broader market. The segment which is carved is the portion that you are addressing. In the same way, there is a portion in the washroom which you have carved. A section of the washroom which you have carved is the portion of the broader market that you have addressed. And finally, what solution do you offer for what specific problem of the focus market of the broader market? In the kitchen, in that place, you have kept the masalas and the grinders and the mixies so that they are easily accessible when they are required. The pain point of having to search all over the place and waste your energy, time, and effort is solved when you have a niche with all these things at arm's reach. Similarly, the washroom, similarly, the drawing room, and similarly, the bedroom. Just imagine. So that you want to sleep, you take a book and read it, and then sleep starts hovering on your eyelids become heavy, you want to go to sleep. Now you have to get up, walk all the way to your library and keep the book and come back and sleep. Will it not spoil your sleep? but the niche just above your bed. Slide the book in, go off to sleep. You have offered a solution for a specific problem of the focused area of the bedroom, which is a part of the broader market called the house. That is a niche. So how do you find your niche? You find your niche, number one, cognitively speaking, going in to understand yourself and going out to understand the opportunities. You go into yourself to understand yourself. And then, having found the jewels which lie there, you come out and understand the opportunities present. In other words, we get into the right brain, left brain activity. You convert the niche, your understanding when you go into a concept, into a solution which you can offer to the world through your right brain, which is a spatially, visually, subjectively oriented animal. And then that information you pass on to the left brain through the corpus callosum and help the left brain convert it into an applied format of objectivity, analysis, functionality, and application. This is what you do. So, how do you take it to the world? You, as an international master trainer, aspiring to become an international master trainer, has identified your niche. This is a long process which we discussed during the program in much greater detail. This is just an overview I'm giving. Now, having identified it, you have to take it to the world. My dear friend, this is where the rubber meets the road. What do you do? Now I'm going to show you two things so that you will be able to understand it better. This is a spinning dancer illusion. This is a spinning dancer illusion. When you look at it, some might see the girl spinning on her heels on a clockwise direction. Some might see her spinning in an anti-clockwise direction. If you continue looking at it closely, she will change her direction. Similarly, we have the Rubik's Cube, vase. Can any one of you tell me what it is you see? I'm allowing you to unmute yourself. Can you tell me what it is you see in this vase? Will any one of you unmute and tell me?
Man or any human being seeing each other.
Okay, Mr. Chandramohan. Anyone else?
Two faces.
Two faces. Okay. Anyone else? Would anyone else like to take a guess what it is you can see here?
Is it a time clock, sir? Is it a time clock?
Okay. Now, the beauty of this illusion is, you see, that our mind tends to overreach. It could be a vase also. Why isn't it a vase? It is a vase. And as two people rightly observed, it is two people looking at each other. If you focus on the white space, you find two people looking at each other. If you focus on the black space, you see a vase, and both are correct. In other words, niche has got two sides to it, like a coin. You can't cut a coin in half and try to make one half of it express its value. You can't. Like Rubin's vase or the spinner illusion, both are right. So what are the two faces of a niche? Why do people fail with their niche identification? So many people are talking about niche. It's being spoken about right, left, and center. But it is only very few people who are able to capitalize on it. Why? Let us understand it. The first is the niche coaching. The second is the niche application. Niche coaching is about the type of topic that you are going to coach the world with. That means it addresses what you are good at. What is it you would like to do? What is it you would love to do? That is one aspect of it. And as we said, you go in to understand yourself and go out to understand the world. Niche application is all about who in the broader market are you going to coach with this? Who specifically is going to be your target audience? Oftentimes, we take a round peg and shove it into a square hole by force. It might go in, but it will destroy the peg and the hole both. It has to be a perfect fit. Your niche coaching and your niche application has to be a perfect fit. What you want to coach should meet the person who wants that to be coached. That is why I said this is where the rubber meets the road. Understanding from this, how do you apply it? How do you get your left brain, the objective brain, to create a format by which you will be able to do it? Let us see. Now we come to the 3 dimensions of the niche. The niche has got 3 dimensions. Without any one of these dimensions fitting in, your niche will fail. Do what you want, it will fail. And now we will understand and see how that is so. Number 1, what is your experience? I am sure you all will agree with me that I can see 25 people in the platform. Each and every one of you has got tremendous amount of knowledge and experience. There is no doubt about it. You require a very well-defined ecosystem with a strong narrative. A person who has got tremendous amount of knowledge and experience with a very well-defined ecosystem, with a strong narrative, following the vein in which the discussion should follow, and he has credibility with his audience. How will it be? This is his niche, isn't it? Experience, credibility, ecosystem. The place where experience meets ecosystem brings about a high acceptance by the ecosystem. When the ecosystem meets credibility, there is willingness to be led by him. And when people are willing to be led by him, experience meets credibility, you can very easily monetize your niche and influence people. This is how it is important. That means you should not only have the experience, you should have a strong ecosystem with a powerful narrative, and you should be credible to the audience. When all these 3 happen, you can easily monetize whatever you are trying to do. The world is divided into 3 types of people. About 90% are the common man, made famous by R.K. Lakshman, followed by the subject matter expert, who constitutes about 9%. That makes for 99% of the people. And then you have the super successful, the 1%, Richard Branson type, Steve Jobs, or Oprah Winfrey, or Abdul Kalam. All these people form the 1%. Let us see how the niche concept works on them. Let us first take the common man. What is the challenge that the common man faces? Or what, in other words, what is the challenge that you and I face? The challenge of the common man is that he has got tremendous amount of experience. He is very knowledgeable. There's no doubt about it. About 35, 40 years of knowledge and experience he has got. During the whole period, he has been working for his family, trying to build it, getting his children educated, married, settling his home loan, car loan, education loan. He retires, comes home, and thinks of monetizing his experience and knowledge. Can he? He has no ecosystem. He has not done or taken any effort to build a credible ecosystem where there is a strong narrative. Just imagine, any friend request that comes on Facebook, you accept. Any friend request, contact request that comes on LinkedIn, you accept. You don't know what sort of a community you have built for yourself in the WhatsApp. Everything is diffused and diffracted. You don't have a credible ecosystem. You don't know what people think about you. You have never taken the effort to create a narrative that, in other words, you have no credibility. No one knows who you are outside your office or outside your family. And even that, once you are retired, questions are raised. When you have no credibility and lack of credibility, what happens? You are invisible. That is the reason why many people retire and fade away into the horizon. They are never spoken about again. They become non-entities. They hang on a wall like a faded, yellowed photograph and nothing else. That means there is an unclear path to monetization. You can't monetize it. All this because you lack the niche. If you had the experience, you had a clear ecosystem, you had a credibility, you could have monetized all these things very successfully. Now let us see what happens to the subject matter expert. What are the challenges the subject matter expert faces? So the subject matter experts are maybe the independent consultants, the professors, the teachers, or the lecturers. They too, like all of us, have tremendous amount of knowledge and experience in a specialized field. But that does not make them superior in any way. The only way they are superior to the common man is that they have a good amount of credibility in a very limited circle. The unfortunate part of it is that limited circle belongs to their cohort. People very similar to them. A doctor has a credibility in the doctor community. An advocate has created a credibility for himself within his advocate community. He has credibility, but unfortunately, he too lacks a clear ecosystem. Can you imagine Jaggi Vasudev with his huge ecosystem having another Swamiji in it? Can you imagine Sri Sri Ravi Shankar with his huge ecosystem having another Swamiji in it? No, it does not happen like that. They are very clear in their ecosystem. There should be no one else but them. When you have experience and high credibility but no ecosystem, you get frustrated. Because you know you are knowledgeable, but all this knowledge takes you only to arguments and controversies. Because of the type of ecosystem you have, when you say something, someone else very similar to you is always ready to shoot it down or come up with a contrarian opinion. You become frustrated. This is one of the reasons why many subject matter experts are very frustrated and grumpy. When you have a high credibility but no ecosystem, you stagnate. You don't know where to share your knowledge, who to share your knowledge with. You totally stagnate. You don't grow. You don't monetize it. And when you have a high experience but no ecosystem, you don't know where to share it with, who to share it with. All this, my dear friends, is because of a lack of niche. Now let us see what happens when you have the experience, you have the credibility, and you have the ecosystem. This is Venezuela of 1970, a nation of only 29 million people. The country at that time was beset by poverty, crime, and political unrest. It was right next to Colombia, the nucleus of the entire world drug trade. Who hasn't heard of Escobar, Pablo Escobar, the drug king who nearly became the president of the country? It was right next to Colombia, and it was beset with crime. Just a minute, let me mute the participants. into this world. And the funniest part of it was over 29% of the population of Venezuela were far below poverty line, nowhere near even discussion. And it was from this slum area of Venezuela that the crime world was being supplied with criminals, because the young children who are being born every day were, they were seeing outside their windows crime taking place. They were born into crime. They graduated into crime. Into this world came in this gentleman called Jose Antonio Abreu and Salemi. Jose Antonio Abreu and Salemi, if you were to Google, Wikipedia would say that he was a Venezuelan orchestra conductor, a pianist, an economist, educator, activist, and a politician. But if you were to ask Jose what he was, he would say, I am a person who loves children. His passion was spending time with children. He loved them like nothing. But he was also an economist, an educator, an activist, and a politician. So he was beset with the idea of pulling Venezuela out of the rut it had gone into. What did he do? He created a program called El Sistema. El Sistema is about taking 2 to 5-year-old children and teaching them music. He saw in his love for children that children love music, they learn everything musically. And he saw another thing, that the parents would do anything for their children. He saw in this an opportunity to pull Venezuela out of the crime and economic disaster it had descended into. He felt that if I can create value in the minds of people and give them an assurance of the future, and if I can show them how they can prevent their children from getting into crime, possibly I would be able to pull this country out of the rut it has gone into. He started El Sistema. The first batch of El Sistema contained 11 students between the age group of 2 to 5. And the classes, music classes, were conducted in a garage. Friends, today El Sistema boasts of 700,000 musicians. Venezuela has got 700,000 musicians. What is more, in 2009, Abreu was awarded the Latin Grammy Trustee Award by the Latin Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. It is the highest honor which can be given to a person. It was given to him. And the beauty of it is, the most celebrated alumnus of this program, which has been running now for over 5 decades, is Gustavo Dudamel, who is now the current music director of Los Angeles Philharmonic and one of the most acclaimed conductors in the world. That was his niche. He loved being with children. He loved children. He converted his niche into an earth-shaking event. He transformed Venezuela. So, is it so just because I'm saying it? Or can I validate my statement? Let us see. If a niche is to be correct, it has to be validated. So how do we validate it? Number one, a niche should have minimal competition. My dear friends, in this case, wasn't the competition minimal? How many people would have taken the route of converting a country's economic disaster into prosperity by taking the route of educating 2 to 5-year-old children in music? There was no competition. He had no competition. All that was required was faith, perseverance, which he had in plenty. Second, professionally and personally satisfying. I'm sure there is no one here who will disagree with me when I say Abreu was professionally and personally tremendously satisfied with what he had done. He had been able to transform the fate of a country by taking the most recent addition to it in the form of a 2 or a 5-year-old child. High profit potential. What more profit can a person imagine than by pulling out a country, than by creating magic for his country? Strong practical need. And the need at that time for Venezuela was to come out of poverty, come out of crime, create a society with value, because that was what was missing. Create a society where people believed in themselves and their country. He did all that with El Sistema. And finally, a strong market demand. You would all be very happy to know that El Sistema is a part and parcel of the entire Latin American subcontinent. It has been adopted by the US and by most advanced countries in the world. What more can you ask in the form of a niche? This is an extreme case. I agree with you. But then, as Krishna says, Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, people fail to achieve their highest potential, not because of obstacles, but because of a clearer path to a lesser potential. When we are satisfied by achieving a lesser degree of what we really are capable of, we are swayed away from the path of the highest that we are possible to reach. Let's not do that, my dear friends. That's what Diplome de Master Trainer all about. Helping you choose your niche. The program helps you identify your niche, validate your niche, and then it helps you to take it global. As we saw, for your niche to be successful, you require a strong community. Diplome de Master Trainer teaches you community building and nurturing. How to build an online community. How do you personalize in your social network? How to nurture that community. How to create a narrative which will manage that community in your favor. How to strategize the growth timeline. And how to do a corporate connection, develop a corporate connection so that, you know, the world of commerce you can influence. And above all, how to create an SME status through YouTube, podcasting, and podcasting. Diplome de Master Trainer teaches you all this so that you can create a community. For this, you require digital assets. Diplome de Master Trainer will teach you how to build your website, how to create your own blog site, how to create creatives and marketing collaterals, how to write content for all the media, how to create program value building and video creation and podcasting. All these things, digital assets which you require to create and drive your niche will be taught to you. That will take care of the first dimension of identifying and converting, identifying your niche and taking it global. That brings us to the next. After plowing the field, it's now time to sow the seeds. The 6 steps of sowing the seed will be taught to you, which begins with curating content and insights. How do you go into the depth of your subconscious through your temporal, occipital, and parietal lobes exploration? How do you create content and insights? How do you strategically deliver them? How do you incorporate implicit influencing techniques so that you can drive your strategies? How do you structure your program to make it interesting? How do you create a professional deck which will be visually appealing? Don't forget that over 83% of your mind is taken up by visual acuity. So you need a very professional deck, colorful professional deck, so that they will be attached to it. And finally, you will learn presentation techniques and digital oratory. Digital oratory is what public speaking is to the offline. You will be learning all these things as part of the sowing the seed. In other words, you will be learning all the things about adult learning principles, the neuroscience of learning, Bloom's taxonomy and the taxonomy of cognitive learning. What are the questioning techniques like anthropophora? How do you drive them to create implicit influencing? The community of inquiry as promoted by Garrison, Anderson, and Archer in 2001, which has been adopted by all the leading universities and the educational institutions in the world, and which has been declared to be the only way to drive learning on the online platform. You'll be learning that. You'll be learning the nudge theory promoted by Richard Thaler, for which he got a Nobel Prize in 2011. Nudge theory has been so successful that all major governments, including the United States and the European governments, have adopted the nudge theory, created nudge units which advise their presidents and chief executives on how to drive public policy. Then you will learn about content, how to select and validate content, how to slice and compact your content, primacy, recency effect in your preparation, the structuring of your program, the baiting and looping of your audience, the transitioning of the subject matter step by step so that it remains one seamless delivery. The priming, like, the farmer plows the field, the mentor or the coach plows the mind of his audience. And by preparing the mind of the audience, he makes them ready for receiving the information. Opening, body, and closing. Everything about content you will learn. That brings us to instructional design. You will learn training need analysis. How do you understand the need of the audience? The narrative grammar. How to write a proposal to a corporate so that you can get assignments of training. What is the script writing? How do you create a script for your program from which the program will be designed? The facilitator guide, each and every slide should have a facilitator guide, defining what exactly you will talk and what you should not. Creating a world-class presentation deck. As I said, visual activity is very important. That brings us to digital oratory and delivery. Speaking on the online platform is a big challenge because you can't see anyone, but you have to continue without humming and hawing in one smooth flow. Only then you will be able to keep the audience hooked to you. That's a big challenge. So you will learn the language of a professional presentation. There is a language for a professional presentation. You can't say anything and everything that you want. How to get the context right in your presentation. The ability to tell a story in your presentation. Presentation is storytelling. Like I was talking with Mr. Ramarao yesterday, where he was telling about the Titanic, how the story of Titanic started with Rose, which kept the audience hooked to the entire story. You see, there is an ability to tell a story which you need to master. Then you have the art of personalizing your presentation. The techniques of delivering virtual presentation. Every virtual presentation is different and it has to be delivered in a way that will appeal to the audience. And finally, mastering digital oratory. Speaking on the online platform loud and clear so that the message goes and hits the audience. That takes care of the second dimension, sowing the seed. Now we come to the third dimension of harvesting the crop or marketing and monetizing your program. We will teach you digital marketing, how to do Facebook marketing, how to do LinkedIn marketing, driving traffic to website and blog site, landing page creation, how to create a landing page, how you can build your community to create an ecosystem on all social platforms. And then we will come to the main part of it. That is, you get life membership to DMT alumni. That means you will be in the midst of people who would have done Diplome de Master Trainer and constantly you will be revising it every day. This comes for free. The entire video recording of the program comes for free. So you can visit the videos anytime you want and refresh your understanding of it. For 1 full year after the program is completed, that is 365 and a quarter days, we will mentor you. We will offer you the platform, help you with curating content, building your community, help you with designing your programs, and go global. Free. That means you are going to be learning as a group. The entire course is template driven. We will be giving you Excel templates for each and every chapter. You put your questions, the answers jump out at you. And you will be networking with like-minded people. All this at no cost. You will be getting one of the most coveted certificates, the certificate of completion of Diplome de Master Trainer. I remember when Harvard Business School was started 2 centuries back, the first batch had 9 students. Only 9. Today, Harvard rejects over 2 million applications every year. 2 million applications every year they reject. Friends, there are universities and there is Harvard. There are train the trainer programs and there is Diplome de Master Trainer. You can see here Dr. K.V. Subbaraju of Andhra Pradesh, who has just completed his program on March 2022. So what is this Diplome de Master Trainer program and for how long is it? Diplome de Master Trainer program is a 240-hour course starting 20th of May 2022 to 2nd of October 2022. The course will be conducted every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. in the evening. It is from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Wednesday are optional days. Practice session is from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. You want, you can join. If you don't want, you don't need to join. But these 240 hours of course is compulsory. In case you miss any of them, you have the video recording and you have one-on-one hand-holding by the faculty to help you catch up with it. In addition to that, you have 100 hours of monitored practice as a group. You can form groups, you will be more, motivated and you will be encouraged to form groups and a facilitator will be available with you to help you practice. Because all the skills in the world will go to waste if you don't practice. Over 100 hours of monitored practice as a group will be available between the period 20th of May 2022, that is just about 15 days away or 10 days away, to 2nd of October. To select participants who show a lot of interest, we will be giving them gold membership. Lifelong free admission to Diplome de Master Trainer courses in the future. All courses that we will be conducting of this program, they can attend for free. All gold member courses will be promoted by Back Solution without cost. If you become a gold member, and that comes free, and there's no cost to it. If you become a gold member, if you perform very well during the training, we will make you a gold member, and then we will give you the opportunity to promote your courses through Back Solution for free. And the facilities will be available at a very nominal price. Now, let us see how the dimensions of 3 work in the Diplome de Master Trainer course. There are 3 dimensions to becoming an international master trainer. There are 3 dimensions to a niche, and there are 3 dimensions to the course. Number 1, we will help you identify your niche. We will help you create a digital program of your knowledge. We will help you market and monetize it. This is one aspect of it. And on the other side, we will provide you the skill set necessary to continue on this path. Number 2, we will help you master that skill set with guided practice, which is the most important. People fail not because they don't know how to acquire the skill set. They fail because they don't practice that skill set after acquiring it. Number 3, we will help you launch yourself into the international market. We have walked the path. We know the path. We know the pitfalls. We know how we can accelerate your journey. We will be with you for 1 full year after you complete the course, holding your hand and taking you on that journey. So we will help you identify the niche. We will help you create digital program. We'll help you monetize it by marketing it. We will provide you the skill set. We will help you master the skill set through guided practice, and we will launch you. So the question is, how do you do this program? Yes, how? I'm sure you have been a very, very good audience and listened very attentively to everything that I have said. By now, the question must have come in your mind. How do I do this program? For that, you will have to work a bit more. You'll have to think a bit more. And you will have to work through the decision pyramid. The decision pyramid has at its top the question, why should you be doing this program? What's in it for you? Only if you can successfully answer this question, should you venture to do this program. Are you doing this program because you want financial freedom? Are you doing this program because you want to keep yourself engaged? Are you doing this program because you want to get social status? People will admire you, respect you, look up to you. Or are you doing this program because you have got a huge amount of knowledge which will come in very useful to the future generations in the new normal? Why are you doing this program? Unless you know your objective very clearly, the answer is not complete. Why are you doing this program? For financial freedom, to be engaged, to be relevant socially, or to share your knowledge? Once you have answered this question, we come to the next part. What is required? If I have to do this program, what do I require? The first thing you require is clarity and understanding of the opportunity which lies all around you. If you don't know where the opportunity lies, you can't do it. You can't monetize it. Just imagine you want financial freedom, but you don't know where to find it. How will you get financial freedom? You want to keep yourself engaged, but you don't know how to keep yourself engaged. How will you keep yourself engaged? You want to share all the knowledge, but where is the opportunity to share it? You need to know that. So you need to have clarity and understanding of the opportunity which is all around you and the skill set to leverage your expertise. So you know why you want it. You know the opportunity is there, but if you don't have the skill set, how will you leverage it? So you require the skill set. That brings us to the third part of the pyramid. How will you get it? Number one, you will have to first acquire the skill set from people who have it. You'll have to acquire the skill sets necessary from people who have it. Then you will have to get those people to guide you, practice, and master it. And finally, you need someone to walk along with you, walk the path, and help you launch into the international market. My dear friends, if you can successfully answer the first question, why should you be doing this? Whether to make money, whether to keep yourself engaged, whether to be socially relevant, whether to share knowledge. We are there to show you where the opportunity is. We are there to provide you the skill set. We will help you acquire the skill set. We will give you the guided practice, and we will walk you through the entire path and guide you and launch you. What I will do now is, I will share a Calendly link on the chat box. The Calendly link is an app where you can fix a free appointment with me for 30 minutes. You click on the link, it will open. You click on the date will open, and there you will find various time slots. You click on the time slot and you fix up your appointment with me, and we will meet and we will discuss further, and I will clarify all the doubts that you have got. Fix an appointment with me, discuss with me, get your doubts clarified, then we will take it forward and decide how to go about it. Friends, here is a unique opportunity to become an international master trainer. Earn a lot, keep yourself busy, become socially relevant, and be admired by the society around you. Don't miss this opportunity. Fix an appointment and let us talk. Thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you for all your attention, and thank you for all the time that you are given.